All right, is this working? Yeah, it looks to be. All right. Okay. Thank you for letting me, Manager Molly, to interrupt a bit as we're on the Zoom to discuss some policy changes, potential policy changes. As some of you know, I have been a big advocate to wearing hats, and Manager Molly has made it a great concern as to we cannot. Well, given this opportunity, I am hoping to reach out to Manager Molly's heart and mind and soul to change this. And without further ado, I will start the presentation of the policy of not wearing hats by Landonot me. Wearing hats. At our company, we have a zero tolerance policy to wearing hats, and I wish to change that. As many of you know, the reason we have this policy is that we should not be confused with the customers on the floor, which is a perfectly great, understandable reason as to why that is, except for the fact that policy was introduced when we did not have our uniforms for the floor. Ever since we've gotten our uniforms on the floor, as pointed out by Manager Molly, we have had issues with customers finding us at an all-time low, which I would like to give props to Manager Molly for the great decision that was. But now that we have that, there's no need for us to not be able to wear hats. And the part I would like to spin off on is that if we are being confused with people on the people on the floor, the customers, by wearing hats, why is it that the people who work the food lines, the people who work in the stocking, why are they allowed to wear hats? Is that because they're not on the floor? Well, that's weird. The people who stock go on the floor. Well, that's weird. The people who work the food counters are in the store. While they may not be on the floor all the time, they do be seen from the floor. And customers have not had in trouble figuring out who you are and why you are there. So that is what I have the issue with that logic. And as such, with these uniforms that we have and the hats, I think we will have an easy time implementing this new policy. But what comes with the new policy, you might be asking? Well, rather simple. We will be wearing hats. Well, great. I like wearing hats, but what benefit does it give the company? Well, let's say you're having a bad hair day. And as a multi-billion-dollar company, we have a reputation to uphold. And how do we uphold this great reputation? By covering our bad hair days with a hat, keeping the beautiful company logo above our golden heads. This is perfect for keeping up a great image for our company. Another thing is, let's say you just don't like your hairline. Some of us are, going bald, or are bald, or partially bald. And you know what? That's okay. If you don't like how your hair is looking, here's a hat. That gives you the ability to have a beautiful, crisp looking face, hair, fashion, a whole shebang. That's one of the pros. Another one of the pros is giving the ability to stop your hair and dandruff from getting onto the floor. As you know, we had an issue in the past with people's hairs and dandruff getting on the product on the floor. And Manager Molly had to get product to certain individuals among the team to fix this issue. As such, if we do have this issue arise again, it won't be as much of an issue, if not at all, as wearing hat, as the hat will cover up that mess. Another point to continue on, it's a fashion choice. If you see a dashing, good-looking employee wearing a hat, customers might want to buy that. And as a multi-billion-dollar company, getting beautiful hats of our company logo is not hard. And as such, it'll be great to see people wearing in the store. Though I do want to spin on the fact that they must be washed. I'm thinking about, well, once every other week, as it's a bit of a con that hats can get dirty. And we don't want no dirty hats on the floor because the whole point of the hat is to stop hair dandruff from looking bad. And so if they just get dirty, what is the point? So clean them, please. With this new policy that's going to be implemented, hopefully, we will be able to stop this messy dirtiness that is staining our employees on the floor and bring up the value of the of us, the workers, in the customers' eyes. And besides that, there's really no downsides. It's hats for Christ's sake. It's not. Everybody has a hat. It's completely normal. Now, how do we implement this? Well, as with every other policy, Manager Molly can be going over in the next meeting or this one, depending on her ruling. We can start wearing hats. It is a very simple fix that can be done at any time. Now, many of you are worried, well, how do we get the hats? Do we have to pay for it? Do we have to come up with a fund? Do not worry. We have an surplus of hats that companies send over. I'm sure that many of you, including myself, had to help the stocking people due to the surplus. And I'm sure many of you remember company told us we probably will have to put some on clearance. Well, instead of putting them on clearance and giving a discount to the customers, what if we use those hats, turning that surplus into not? What if we just have the surplus be weared upon our heads and we give out our normal ratio of hats onto the floor? This will solve this issue that we had. That'll make this change very fast. Boom, immediately. You get a hat. You get a hat. I'm like Oprah. Everybody gets a hat. It's a great opportunity for our employees to get a hat due to this surplus. And so, due to that, I believe we can implement this change extremely fast and when we need to. Now, I would like to thank everybody for paying attention, from Manager Molly to Chief Instructor Jim. This is very much a heartfelt thank you to you for letting me speak about this company policy change that I wish to see implemented. And if you have any questions, please shoot them back to me. I'll answer them to the best of my ability. And as such, thank you. Thank you for listening.